morning and welcome back to this segment. This is Family Thursday. I'm so excited and happy because this is another session that the Lord has given us that we can dive into a good conversation that will help our families. This is where we have conversations about family, relationships, how they can be built and strengthened, how we can build strong and healthy relationships or families. And so don't go away because today we are diving into a very important conversation that really is crucial: money, handling finances in our families, because a lot of families crumble because of finances, because of money. You find a lot of people have a lot of secrets about money, but here we'll help you understand saving in the family, debt management and all that. So don't go away. Just tell us where you're texting us, you're watching us from, onto our WhatsApp number 07900 or all our social media handles at Mizpa TV Kenya. And I'm not alone. I'm having an amazing guest here with me. She will share the wisdom and the insights because she has lived. She's married, by the way. Now I know she has a lot of wisdom about it. And also she is the founder of Abby's Holistic Wellness Hub. She's a mindset hacker. I love that. She's a mindset hacker. She'll help us understand what it means by a mindset hacker. She's also an inspirational speaker, a mentor, and a trainer. She is the most relevant person for this topic. So don't go away. And her name is Blessed Abby, Blessed Coach Abby.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning, Grace.
Welcome to Mizpa.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
It feels great to be back home.
Yeah, you can say hi to the viewers and tell us what it really means by mind hacking.
Hi, viewers. My name is Abigail Luvisia Otieno, aka Coach Blessed Abby. And I call myself Coach Blessed Abby because I adopted this name to always remind myself that I am blessed.
Wow, amazing.
And that it's an affirmation because there is a time in my life I never considered myself blessed.
Yeah.
So every day I want to affirm it.
Yes.
So that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
So as you said, I'm a mind hacker. That means I find you with a limited mindset,
Yes.
defeated mindset. We crack through it
Yes.
until you're able to get to the other side where you believe in yourself.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
That's a very good job. I know many people are helped by I saw your content in YouTube. She has a YouTube channel, Holistic Wellness Hub, right?
Yeah, Abby's Holistic Wellness Hub.
Wow, and I see the
Yes.
good work you're doing. I know a lot of people are helped.
Thank you.
Yeah, so today we are diving about finances, the conversation about finances in the families.
Yes.
And I know you will share your wisdom. I know I've seen your content and I know you have good wisdom.
Thank you.
Yeah, so before we dive into the conversation, there's this notion of pesa yangu as a woman is my money. Na pesa ya the man ni yetu. What can you say about that?
And it's a very common one. And now it also makes the man feels that pesa yangu pia ni yangu. So he doesn't bring his all.
Yes.
So he wants to bring half and not everything. But I would say it's something that we shouldn't have in our families because we are a team. Remember when God made family and when God made marriage, what did he want? He wanted one.
Yes.
And where does this oneness, where does it come up? It is also in the area of finances.
Yeah.
So why would we want to be one in everything else, in parenting, in anything else apart from this one area, money? Yet we know that money is such a great blessing to the family, but can also be an area of great problems. Yes. It's so I don't agree that my money is my money. So that as a woman, my money is building mansions in the village, but we are all depending on my husband's money. No, I don't think that's right.
Well, that's amazing. Our viewers, we had said you can text us and tell us what you think about that notion of my money is my money and his money is our money. You can tell us onto our WhatsApp number 0799200100 and all our social media handles. And so thank you so much for that. I love that notion because it will help a lot of people because if people understand that, especially the women, wanasaidia themselves there to bring money on board now, what they plan about it,
Yes.
I know the family will stand. So why do you think conversations about money is important in families? And should it start when people are married or before even they get married?
You know, the other day we had a discussion. There's a live podcast that we did, and we talked about money. And so we did it with my fellow coach. His name is Coach Mwalimu. And one of the things that came up was somebody said that in marriage, the woman should give 20%, the man 80%.
Oh.
And so it was a discussion.
Yes.
Somebody was saying 50-50, another one give 100.
Yes.
So it's a whole area of discussion. But people need to talk about money. And I believe that we need to talk about money even before. Because remember, in courtship, that is where you begin to rehearse how will our marriage be.
Yes.
Because if you're not talking about money when you're courting, then what will change when you get there? Like when in the early days of dating, you may not talk about money because you're getting to know each other.
Yeah.
But there is this point now you're serious, you know, this is the person I am getting married to. Then I think it's important to talk about money. And now we get into marriage, people don't talk about money. People are quiet about money.
Yes.
So one day something happens and they just realize we are in a storm.
Yeah.
Things are not working. Why? Because they have not been talking about money. So it's very, very important for couples to embrace money as a subject that they talk about every other day. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. So people should incorporate that discussion in their family.
Yes.
So you have talked about 20, the 80 and 50-50. I want to hear your mind.
I don't think marriage has an 80 and a 20. Now that's my personal view. I feel that marriage has 100, 100. Because what about that day that when I did my premarital counseling, which of course I say everybody who intends to get married should consider. Many people don't consider it. And so they get into marriage uninformed. And so one of the topics we handled was money. And so of course we were asked who provides. And so me, the Abby that I am, I said my husband. And so the counselor asked, what about the day he doesn't have a job? What about the day he cannot provide? What happens? Do you sleep hungry? Because it happens. Haven't you seen couples where the man has been doing so well, and then something happens, an accident, and the lady has to step in. So if you didn't set the foundation straight, that's when the lady becomes stressed, even leaves.
True.
So I believe that we come in when I have my 100 on the table and he has his 100 on the table, then we can grow. Because somebody again said that when you allow division and a gap between the two of you, then you have allowed room for the enemy to step in.
Oh, very true.
So why not allow God to be at the center of it all? And then when God is at the center, then you can be vulnerable to each other. You can know that I can tell him, because my belief is that my husband is my friend. And so I should be able to share with him my heart, and that includes my finances.
Wow.
So personally, I have we have embraced the 100, and it has worked for us because my husband's self-esteem is not down when he doesn't have money. He doesn't fear to come and tell me, I don't have money today. And I can comfortably tell him, no, you don't worry, I have done this and I have this, so we can do this. So we approach it that way. But many families have different views, where they say the wife will take care of the gas, and you know, the man will take care of the rent.
True.
That's a common approach, which if done again transparently, then it's okay.
Oh, it can work.
It can work. But then we have to know that in case I can't buy the gas, then the man won't say, leo mtalala njaa.
I can't pay the rent.
Yeah. So because there is this story of a man who was doing very, very well. And then one day he just lost his job. And so they are living in a posh estate, a very wealthy place. They have 3-4 cars. Their children are going to groups of schools. And so one day the man loses the job and he is stressed. And so he comes to his wife and tells him, we need to downsize. And the wife says, no. What will my friends say? What will people say about me? I can't downsize. And so the man was terribly stressed because he's asking the wife, can we at least sell one car? The wife says, no. What will my friends say? Can we at least change our children from the schools they are in? The wife says no. Can we move from this neighborhood? No. So eventually the man was able to recover. But see the dent that has created. Would he trust his wife again?
Not really.
No. So that approach should be taken, but then with a lot of wisdom and openness.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that. Our viewers, I hope you're being helped out there, because this is a very crucial matter, and I love the way you have brought it home, that money should be talked about, and people should know how to sit down and talk about it. But then how can they talk about it and not get into conflict? Which is the best way?
You know, you need to make it a natural thing and a regular thing. The other day, I talked about it on my channel, where I said, yearly, my husband and I go out just to talk about the plans we have for the year. And this is not something we did from the beginning. I wish we did. Because since we started doing it's helping. And so every month we have a plan that we follow. And so we sit down and agree, do we have enough money for this? How do we handle this? And so when we do that, we will rarely fight, because then money becomes a natural thing. It's not a strange thing that we are bringing in. It's just a natural part. Just the way we talk about water, we talk about sugar and everything else, then we can talk about money. But where people are not transparent, then they would be afraid. Where, say for a man, his self-esteem is attached to how much he brings on the table, then the day he doesn't want to tell his wife. For this wife who also attaches money to the value of the husband, or the vice versa, then it can be a problem. But then when they have agreed that this is just something natural, we can actually talk about it, then it doesn't have to be an issue where we have cold feet when we talk about it. So it should be an effective communication, and also coming into an agreement. Wow, that's amazing. Now, we have talked about marriage, how it works, finances works in marriage. Now, what about the extended family? You find the extended family are fighting about money. Oh, sistangu alikataa kunikopesha pesa, oh, nini. Ama umkopesha alafu akose kulipa. Oh, I'm your family, you know. What can you say about that? In that the area they talk of black tax also, that you have these expectations, somebody is expecting you to give money. Now let me first talk about it in relation to a couple, because once you're married, there is somebody expecting money either from the wife or from the husband, especially when the husband is the firstborn, and he was the like looked upon as what we will hear people say tegemeo, and so now this lady has come in and they are feeling like she has come to take what is rightfully ours for them. And so these divisions that are there in the family, I would say that most of the time the foundations are wrong. How we were brought up thinking about money, because honestly,
Yeah.
why should I borrow money from my brother and refuse to pay?
Yes.
Yet that happens a lot. People have this feeling of entitlement,
Yeah.
feeling that if my brother gives me 1,000 shillings, I'm entitled to it,
Yeah.
which is not true.
It's not.
So we need to have that discipline of just knowing that this money belongs to someone else,
Yeah.
and I should be able to pay. If I said
Yeah.
I will pay, then I should be able to pay. Unless I'm not able to, then I should go ahead and say, I'm sorry, I'm not able to pay at this time.
Yeah.
Would you please extend the time for me?
Yes.
Then I'll pay. But sometimes saying no is important.
To the family.
Yes. There are levels to which you have to say no.
Yeah.
Because I have seen women, because mostly I work with women, they say, you know, the other day I just discovered that my husband gave 50,000 shillings to his family, and I have no idea. And it creates a very big problem. It creates a rift. There's so much division, because now the wife begins to think, if you can give, then let me also give. So
Yes.
the tit for tat begins.
Yes.
So it's important to look at the family and say, yes, this is reasonable. We can say yes to this. Again, I say, if it's now concerning the couple, do it together.
Yeah.
I have seen this approach that couples have, that if I am sending money, if my mom asks me for money, my husband sends the money.
Oh, wow.
And if his mom asks for money, I send the money.
Yes.
So there is no day that they will say, our daughter-in-law is bad.
Yeah.
She came into our lives, and tangu siku hiyo we don't have money. But they will know that she's actually good, and it even enhances the bond and the respect.
Wow.
Because sometimes my mother will be a bit casual when asking me for money. But not
the same as the son.
the son-in-law, but the same as his mother or any relative. So some couples have taken that approach, and it works for them, and it helps to have respect. But finances in families, now the extended, it's something we have to talk about and discuss. We are able to support you to this level, but to this, we are not able to.
Yeah, that calls for boundaries. Sitting down and telling the family, even if you want us to maybe tusomeshe mtoto, we can't go to this extent. Okay, you know, even it happens when you find maybe for example you're working or maybe you're not yet married and then your parents no umepata tu ka job your parents wameweza kukupigia kufuli nilifanya kufuli I had people complaining, some of my friends complaining that their parents are on their necks that uliandikwa job na utusaidii na wewe mtu hata that money she's really trying to manage it because aimsaidii pia that much because unapata pia she has university debt to pay for the help so I don't know how we can navigate around that as children to parents.
You know, unfortunately, the way our parents, I don't know if the Gen Z will experience that, because I saw someone say on Facebook the other day that parents to Gen Zs need to prepare themselves because Gen Zs are not going to pay the black tax like us, the millennials, paid. Because for us, when I was growing up, my dad told me, you know, I need you to study, go to campus, build us a house, do so much. Then you even struggle to find that job in the first place, and then it takes a long time. I remember when I went to tell my dad that I found this man, I want to get married, and he said, you know, it's good for a girl to first think about what they will do at home. You know, like buy me a Pajero and something. I hope the parents of today, now people who in my age group and people who are still able financially, get to the point of knowing that we need to prepare for our old age. That we can't burden our children. To be there, knowing that I'm going to school, and because the employment rate in this country or maybe in the world is not as good as it was before.
Yeah, true.
Business takes time to develop, and so when as a child you find yourself in that position, it's important to sit your parents down, explain to them, please be patient. I would really want to be a blessing to you, because I believe we should be a blessing to our parents, but then please be patient. I'm still building my life.
Wow.
I'm still trying to build my foundations.
Yes. Wow, that's amazing. We need to go for a short break, but we'll be right back. Thank you so much for that. You've laid a good foundation for it. Don't go away. We're just coming back shortly.
Who is a phenomenal woman? A phenomenal woman does not seek outside validation. A phenomenal woman feels comfortable in her own skill. She loves herself fully. A phenomenal woman embraces her own authenticity. Becoming a phenomenal woman requires commitment. It requires making difficult decisions and being intentional. A phenomenal woman seeks transformation not only for herself, but for her generations to come. And that is why I'm here to invite you to the Becoming H.E.R program, an 8-week life-changing program where we heal, evolve, and rise. We heal, we let go of past wounds, release emotional baggage, and embrace forgiveness. We evolve, we break free from limiting beliefs and step into love and confidence. We rise into authentic power. We align with our core values and live with clarity and purpose. Become her. Become phenomenal. Step into your light. Sign up today and let's take this life-changing journey together. See the details in the description box.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for what you have shared earlier. We have laid a lot of good basis about it. Now, I've asked about that question. There are many men, young men, who are scared of getting married. Wanapeana hiyo excuse ya, I don't have money. Mimi nikiingia hapo nita provide na nini. Yeah, you can talk to the young people, the young men.
I was at a cyber the other day, and so there were two men. And they asked me, so how long have you been married? I said, I'm now in my 14th year, because this year I'll be celebrating my 15th anniversary. And they asked, wow, how have you managed 14 years? And they said, Mimi sioi, I'm not marrying. And I asked why. And they said, now the money that I have, I can only feed myself. How do I bring in another mouth? Then the other mouth, we create more mouths to feed. And so we talked a bit, and I was just telling them that you shouldn't be afraid. Now, Grace, when we started, we didn't have money. In fact, I remember my father-in-law was worried because we were still paying the black tax. So my husband, being the eldest son in the family, they were looking upon him to do so much, education and all that. And so my father-in-law was worried, when you get married, how will you support us and all that. But I remember us saying, because there's a time now we are in love, we want to get married, but we are also afraid. Then we went to see this couple, and they talked to us and told us, you know, when you are together, and if you decide to walk the marriage journey as one, you can do so much.
Wow, amazing.
Because remember now, for me, my dad is telling me, don't come and tell me about a man, buy me a Pajero first, which I have not bought to date. Anyway, he had a car. I don't think he needed the Pajero. But the things we are able to do in my home and my husband's home together, I think are more than we would have done individually. So I believe God for blessing, that as long as you know that the blessing of God is on you. And remember, marriage is this institution that God instituted. And once you go down there and pray.
Yeah.
Hold hands and ask God,
Yes.
bless us. God answers prayer.
Yeah.
So there are times as a family we've gone through difficult financial moments,
Yeah.
but God has pulled us through.
Yes, yes.
So maybe I'll talk about that when we talk about the difficulties in
Yes.
finances.
Yeah.
But then there are those times. But then a man should not be afraid. You know, the reason we are afraid, we are thinking of weddings, and we think of
Yes, of
the
a-
movie,
Yes.
soap opera
Yeah.
wedding. But yes, I had my wedding and I thank God. But if I were to wed
Redo
again
it,
today,
yes.
honestly, I would downsize.
Oh my goodness, I've heard a lot of people say
yes,
that.
because the many things that we put in there sometimes are not necessary.
Yeah.
We don't even go back to them. And the things that make us mad on that wedding day,
Yes.
later you don't even see the value.
Yes.
And so if a young man wants to get married, trust God, get the money, of course, to honor the parents,
Yes.
because this is Africa, we pay
Yeah,
dowry.
we must.
And then do a small wedding.
Yes.
Or even go to the pastor with your friends and get, after all we want is the parental blessing
Very
and
true.
the priesthood blessing.
Yes.
And then begin your life. Work at it, set your goals, do everything.
Yeah.
It will work.
Wow, that's amazing. If
Yes.
you are a young person out there, even for the ladies, I guess they should have a good mindset about
Yes,
money, because men wanaogopa, wanasema, oh, ladies siku hizi wanapenda pesa, but I think it's a myth because sio wote.
You know, the challenge with the young ladies today is that they want ready-made.
Oh, yeah.
They
True.
don't want to come and begin to work from zero.
Yes.
Now, I will tell you honestly, my husband and I started from zero.
Scratch.
Where you, all you have is the salary that you get.
Yes.
And at some point, I was not even working. So, at that point, all you have is the two of you and your brains.
Yes.
So, but God has continued to lift us.
Wow.
So a lady shouldn't say that now what I want is a man who is made,
Yeah.
who is made up. The question is, who made up
Oh,
this man?
yes.
Now we do compare pictures.
Yeah.
My husband's first pictures and mine, and I ask him, how did I fall in love
I know.
with you? How? I mean, the way you look now, you
Yes.
look polished.
Yeah.
Now a young lady wants this
Yes, polished
man.
already.
Why not polish your own?
Yes, true.
And then you will be proud when you come to the age, a later age.
Yeah.
You begin to think, wow,
Wow.
we've made it.
Yes.
We've come so far.
Yes.
And you're grateful.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so amazing. Well, wanawake na the young men and women, musikose kuoa juu ya pesa. Yeah, tumeshaambiwa. Now let's get to budgeting. How should a budget in a family look like? Many people are like, how should we budget? Kuna watu wana struggle hata kubudget. Yeah.
Leave alone that there are those who are not even considering budgeting because they say we don't have enough. I'm earning very little.
Yes.
But remember, the money is as little as you decide it is.
Oh.
Because I remember my second job.
Yes.
I was paid 15,000. Now, when I went to the ATM to get the money, HELB had done its thing,
HELB.
deduction, tax,
Yes.
and HIF,
Oh,
and all that. I literally cried at the
Oh,
ATM.
oh
I
my
asked
God.
God, oh my goodness, this what I went to study for
Yeah.
in campus for a whole 4 years?
Yes.
But that mindset,
Yeah.
I saw it as little.
Okay.
Now, let me show you how I was mistaken.
Yes.
At the end, after everything, I was left with around 13,000. Where I was working, accommodation and food was provided.
Oh, wow,
so I was
nice.
better off.
Yes, you're better
But
off.
I could not see that.
Yeah.
Now, in that place, then plots were quite affordable.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would have bought myself one. But because I'm thinking I don't have,
Yes.
I don't have, I was not, I couldn't even plan for it.
Yeah.
So whichever little money you have, budget.
Budget.
You see, budgeting is this plan that simply tells you that we have 1,000 shillings.
Yes.
This is where 1,000 goes. Part of it will go to our children,
Yeah.
part of it to food,
Yes.
part of it to leisure, part of it. So you are able to sit down
Yeah.
and plan for it. So however much or little
small,
it is,
yes.
plan
Yeah.
and budget for it. Many families don't budget, and it's very, very important. So for us, we have created an Excel sheet where we put in our expenses and see how. So at the end, we are able to see this is our column for income, this is our column for expenses, this is the surplus or the deficit.
Oh, that's amazing.
But then pay yourself first.
Oh,
Before you start paying black tax, before you start paying everybody else, pay yourself first.
Yeah.
And how is that? Save. Make sure you
Oh,
save.
yeah, the savings.
You know, many people don't save because they are thinking, I don't have enough.
Yes.
But then think about it. If every day I eat mandazi at 20 bob,
Yes.
what if I decided that after all mandazi is not healthy, so I'm not going to eat mandazi, I'm going to save 20 bob every day.
Yes.
That would be like 600 shillings per month.
Yeah.
That would be like 7,200 shillings per year. So it would be better than nothing.
Yeah.
So save. And that's like 20%.
Yes.
Then for us Christians, of course, we tithe,
yeah.
give your 10%. We know that whatever you give to God doesn't go unrewarded.
Yeah, true.
You can never outgive God. And then give another 20% for your wants.
Yes. Oh, they're wants.
The
Because
wants.
people confuse wants and needs.
No, they are wants.
Yes.
Once I want to take my children to,
Out.
they have been asking me for KFC.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to take them for swimming.
Yes.
I want to go to those KFCs. And so, but then the 50% is now for your needs.
For the needs.
The school fees is paid, the rent, the water, all those bills.
Yes.
So if you're able to work with that plan. Now, I know somebody is watching us and is thinking, Coach Abby, honestly, you're not realistic.
Yeah.
But the moment you put pen to paper and begin to plan,
Yeah.
you will realize that there is some money that goes to some openings that you can close.
Yeah, true.
There is some money that is going to outlets that you can actually close and bring it towards your saving.
Yes.
So that as you save, you're able now to use that money for a rainy day or for a day that you that investment that you want, a home that you want.
Yeah. Even the emergency funds.
Yes, the emergency funds and all that. So many families don't have that. Many families lack that. They are living beyond their means.
Yeah, kwanza hapo.
Yeah, you know, like Christmas, tuna hire gari, Land Cruiser.
Yes.
We hire, we go to Ushago, come back January, school fees.
Or social media pressures. Unapata sijui bahati alipe ni bibi yake a very big car. Na unataka you want the same. You find
I don't think we should you know, the Bible says do not conform to the standards of the world, but be transformed by renewing your mindset. Now if I look at say Bahati, as you mentioned, and I want to do like him, and I don't have those resources, at the end of the day I will get stressed. So it's very important to just live within our means and ask ourselves, what exactly do we want to do?
Or what do we have? I love that you said, no matter how small it is, hata kama you're earning both 1,000 shillings, sit down with the 2,000 and budget. Actually, I had a family talked and they said that this is how they do their money. Wakishapata pesa wanaleta yote hapa, and then they divide. They say kila mtu half chukua hii kwanza tushalipa all the bills, tumebaki na nini, this money now hii sasa ndio sadaka yako ya the whole month. Hii ndio sadaka yako ya the whole month. Hii ndio itakusaidia kwa transport ukienda. Hii ndio itakusaidia kwa transport. Ikishia katikati, you're the one to know kama utaenda na matatu sasa huta fuel gari,
ukiamua kukula mandazi.
Ukiamua kukula mandazi kama unakulanga ama uache kukula, you know.
It's upon you.
Yeah, it's upon you, and I loved that, and that's transparency and coming together as a family. It really helps, and you find many families stand, and I love how you also do in your family. That's amazing.
Thank you. Now there's a person who said he was doing a research on finances in families. He did it among the Christians, the Asians, and he went to this Asian family, a very wealthy family. And he was surprised because he said in that home, I don't know if that's what all Asians do, but in that home they had jars.
Wow.
They had jars for, can you imagine, they even have a jar for tithe.
That's amazing.
Whatever you get, you come and drop in there. And then they have a jar for daily expenses.
Yeah.
So you know that if I need to go and buy bread, this is the jar.
Yeah.
I don't go to this other jar. So that's discipline.
Yes.
And he said something that was actually profound to me. He said that even though we think Asians believe in multi-gods, but they also believe in God.
Yeah.
And they know our God to be the God of money and the God of abundance.
Yes.
And that made me ask myself, then me as a Christian, I should enjoy that abundance. It's actually my birthright. I should enjoy it.
True.
Yeah, and so he says he learned so much from the jars, the planning, because then the family, including the children, they know that this is how we plan for our money.
Yeah, well, those are good practical ways. I know there are many. If you need some, you can also ask out there. Yeah, I love how you've said about children. How can we cultivate that saving and budgeting for the children? And which age wanafaa kuelewa pesa zinafaa kutumiwa hivi? Because you find there are some families, they treat their children, mam nipe 100 anapewa, mam nataka kiatu ananunuliwa. So but I guess inafanya mtoto, so if I ask, I'll be given immediately. And what if there is no money at any point, you know? Nikiitisha niseme nafaa kwenda tu, kila siku kuna mtoto amezoeshwa kulipwa tu. And then ifike wakati the parents don't have money for the tour, and natua ishafika, ambiwa hakuna, that child can do something but to himself or herself. So which age is the right age for children waanze kufunzwa about money, how to budget, how to save?
Let me first say that, remember, children do what they see. Monkey see, monkey do. And so whatever they see us doing, they will copy. So what we tell our children, let's first develop their mindsets at an early age. When I was growing up, I had a lot of, we have no money. This is too expensive. We can't afford this. Unafikiria pesa inamea kwa miti. You know. And those things are bad. I advise anyone watching us, don't tell that to your children. Because it creates that scarcity mindset. Like for me, I grew up believing that money is very scarce. That the moment I touch money, itapotea. So I remember this day that my husband gets money. It was good money then, 2010, 120,000, and we were broke. So he brought the money and told me, wow, we've gotten this money. And I said, thank you. For 10 minutes, I was happy. Then immediately after that, I started worrying about what will happen. Pesa ikiisha, because that's how I'd been brought up. So let's first cultivate positive money mindset in our children. Let's show our children that money is abundant. You know, we shouldn't tell them all the time that we don't have money. Instead of telling your children you don't have money, tell them, like for me, I tell my children, yes, you want us to go to KFC, but that's not a priority for us now. Today, let's plan for it. We'll go next month at this particular time. So they know that I have money, but it's not for KFC. It's for something else.
Wow,
and so sometimes I'll tell them, but you see, KFC is not as healthy as us buying chicken and those ndomas and going to cook for ourselves. Or I tell them, actually, mommy makes better KFC at home. So let's go and make our own. In fact, it's fun. Yes. But also, let's involve our children in our finances. Like very young children, you just tell them what I've just said. This is not a priority now. They're asking for biscuits and sweets. Somebody told me of a child she met and wanted to give her a sweet, and that child said, no, I'm not taking a sweet. Sweets are not good for my teeth. And she was shocked. How does a 3-year-old say no to sweets? So you see, it's just the way she has been brought up. When children get older, they can now understand.
Yes.
My firstborn is 14, so now he's able to understand. So we'd sit down and I tell him, this one we are not able to get right now because our priority is this and this and this at the moment, but give us time. We'll be able to get you that. And so also teach them that money is worked for.
Yes.
There's this author who said one day the daughter came and asked for money, and then he took a book, his book, and gave to the daughter, and told the daughter, go and sell this book.
Yes.
And so the daughter moved door to door, trying to sell the book, and came back with it. And said, Dad, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Now he sat her down and said, now that's how I also work.
Yes.
Can you imagine? You are tired after 2 hours.
Yes.
So I want you to work with that book. The money that you get is
your
going
money.
to be yours. And the daughter sold the book, came back for a second one, came back for a third one.
Oh, amazing.
Isn't that child already now groomed for investing, for business? They will start thinking, I can do this.
Yes.
But when we have this mommy daddy mindset of giving money all the time, 100 bob chukua, we are not helping them, because we are lying to them that things are easy in the world when they are not. We are showing them that things are easy, but they are not. So we need to balance. It's just an issue of balancing. But when we can involve them, pray with them about money. Let them hear you say, God, we need finances for this particular thing, and also tell them, go ask God. Sometimes I tell my children, the other day my son asked for something, and I asked him, have you asked God first? Now go talk to God. Tell him to provide for us. Yes. Wow. I just want him to know that we are not his source. God is.
The Lord is.
We are just a vessel and a channel that God uses. And when we do those things, and even as we budget, as we plan, our children are watching. Yes. They will adopt.
Yes, even saving.
Yes. And also let our children learn they can earn. Yesterday, my son told me, Mom, can I wash your car? Then that money that you take to the car wash, you give it to me. I told him, fine.
Okay.
So once in a while, when he wants money, he will do that. Now, we also talk. I ask him, how will you spend your money? Because I don't want you to spend your money on biscuits and sweets. So he knows that I need to give tithe, so he tells me, no, today I'm actually going to pay my own offering. I can give that for myself. I have some money. So with those disciplines, as they grow up with them, they will, when now they are grown up, it will be natural. It will be so easy for them.
Wow, that's amazing. I really love your family. I really love how you're nurturing your children, things to do with money. And I know it will help our viewers, because children, if they grow knowing that the way you've said money is plenty, but it depends with how you use it, they will grow to be great people.
Somebody said money is omnipresent. That we just need to be in the right frequency to get that money. Now that's where mind hacking comes in.
The mind hacking now. Wow, that's amazing. Time is really much fast spent, but very well spent. I just want us to end with maybe managing debt. There are many families with loans. How can they manage that debt, or how should they approach now the loans and getting the loans from the banks?
Now, the first thing is to know, why are we borrowing?
The why.
Differentiate between a good debt and a bad debt, because we borrow. As I speak, I have a loan myself that I'm paying. The question is, how did I use that money? So good debt is the one you borrow to invest.
Amazing.
Bad debt is the one you borrow to consume, like the one we talked about, hiring a Prado to the village. And also be careful of wrong investments. Grace, there is a time as a family we made a wrong investment, my friend. We paid for it for about 3 years. Now this came the pyramid schemes, and you know the way they come sweetly through the churches, and they come and look like they are going to save us. So my husband and I agreed. We took money to this thing, and then 2 weeks down the line, we had actually earned some good money from it. 2 weeks down the line, we hear these people are arrested. It's crashed.
Oh my goodness.
And we paid for it dearly. It took us time to recover. So avoiding those bad investments, but then also avoiding very high interest loans. Because, for example, Shylocks. Shylocks, I have met a man who is under siege because Shylocks are on his neck. They are not letting him rest. They are just following him every day. Actually, it's the wife who had to bail him out because he borrowed the money, then got an accident. Then for about 2 years, he was bedridden. Now imagine the interest. So it's important to know, where am I borrowing the money? Is it a bank? Is it a SACCO? The small loans that we have on the mobile platforms. So it's good to differentiate that. It's also good to prioritize paying debts. Remember the 20% that we said goes to saving? A part of it can also go to paying debts. So that part of it, you are lessening the debt. It's good to be debt free. It gives you freedom. So you use prioritize. How do I pay debt? How are we going to pay debt? And this is where now transparency comes in again. Haven't you heard of women who go to these bodies, they borrow money, then they come for the seats and all the things in the house. So this is a woman who didn't tell the husband, I'm going to borrow money. So it's very important to plan for it.
Wow, that's amazing. I really love that. And you've really shared well, and I love your wisdom and your insights. And you can just tell people where they can meet you, because time imeisha, because I know you can hack their minds.
On day-to-day basis, I work with men, women, and young people to just help them elevate their mindsets, to know that they can actually rise from their negative beliefs and walk into their God-given potential. So if you want to reach me, my WhatsApp number is 0781 248 284. And then my email, info@coachblessedabby.com.
Wow.
So if you look online, you'll find Coach Blessed Abby on YouTube. You'll find me on Facebook as Abby's Holistic Wellness Hub. So wherever you find me, just look for either Blessed Abby, Coach Blessed Abby, or Abby's Holistic Wellness Hub.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your insights and your wisdom.
Thank you.
I will not add a lot of things, but it's good to be good stewards of money everywhere, in the family and also in your life. Thank you so much. Meet you next time.
Who is a phenomenal woman? A phenomenal woman does not seek outside validation. A phenomenal woman feels comfortable in her own skill. She loves herself fully. A phenomenal woman embraces her own authenticity. Becoming a phenomenal woman requires commitment. It requires making difficult decisions and being intentional. A phenomenal woman seeks transformation not only for herself, but for her generations to come. And that is why I'm here to invite you to the Becoming H.E.R program, an 8-week life-changing program where we heal, evolve, and rise. We heal, we let go of past wounds, release emotional baggage, and embrace forgiveness. We evolve, we break free from limiting beliefs and step into love and confidence. We rise into authentic power. We align with our core values and live with clarity and purpose. Become her. Become phenomenal. Step into your light. Sign up today and let's take this life-changing journey together. See the details in the description box.